I, I keep getting some really good text. Hold on, I got to respond to this text that I just got, this image I just got. I wish I could tell you what it is, but I can't. Well, I can, but there is a little bit of a line. I do have a line. I do have a little bit of a line when it comes to some stuff. But nah, can't do it. All right. So I'm going to be talking to you about California and in some cases New York, but really California. And I probably wasn't going to do a live tonight because I got late. I didn't realize I didn't eat today, so I cooked a late dinner. And then I was just looking at something. I was going through some images that I was getting off of my phone and came across one about sexual education being taught in our kindergarten classes. and it was a law passed by our great Democrats here in California. I did none of it, none of this makes any sense. What's happening in California? The laws that they're passing, reducing the law. Okay, hold on. Before I get to the show, let's go to a couple of my sponsors really fast. Please go to today'shappycoffee.com. Sorry, today'shappycoffee.com. It is getting me through these last 6 months and up to the election. If without Happy Coffee, I would be in a straitjacket. To tell you the truth, I just realized I didn't erase my whiteboard. Sorry, I got on so quickly I didn't even look. But Happy Coffee, it has happy. It helps you with your happy hormones, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Look at that, I got all four. And then it has an appetite suppressant. Hence the reason I didn't realize I didn't eat today until it was what time was it? It was about it's 8:00 now. It was about 6 o'clock or so, 5:30, 6 o'clock when I realized, hey, I didn't eat today. I know some people might think that's not that great, but I'm telling you, I've lost 25 pounds and I feel great. I do have some protein drinks that I take every so often and some other stuff, some supplements, and I feel great. I've not felt this good in a very long time. It also includes my CBD oil, today's CBD oil. One of the top 50 healthcare companies in the world is patented and uses liposome technology to get the nutrients into your body. It's fantastic. The same company, but different products. Today's Viseo.com has great Core Complete, skin care, which is scientifically proven to reduce or to turn back the hands of time. It's fantastic. And those are the three sponsors. I would love for you to visit and at least get something. Everything's guaranteed. If you don't like it, you send it back and get your money back. All right. So it was just, I was going through these images again and just trying to clear my phone, just to make room and the memory and that kind of stuff. Oops. I clicked on the wrong thing. Hold on. And came across, I had taken a screenshot or a picture of a document that was handed out at my church regarding, was it my church? No, it was a rally. It was a Trump rally. Comprehensive sexual education for students. And this law was passed. Actually, I can't even blame this on Newsom. It was passed during the Brown administration. It's just as bad, but Newsom's worse. Newsom's way worse. Oh my God. But some of these things, these are some of the things that in this law that is passed, right, by the Democrats. We have what's called a supermajority, right? And they just have to say yes and no, and nobody else gets to vote on it. No vote or needs to vote on it. But it teaches children how to obtain birth control, the morning after pill, and get an abortion, all without parental knowledge. It teaches the kids how to do this from kindergarten to high school. I mean, it is horrible and it's like crazy, but you almost like laugh like this is really like a Saturday Night Live skit, right? This isn't real, but it is. It's real. Equates vaginal sex with anal sex. All right, whatever you say. Communicates acceptance of sex outside of a marriage. It mandates the sex education in middle and high school and can be taught in all grades. It gives them websites to visit, such as PlannedParenthood.org, teen/teen, sex, etc., sexetc.org, and Scarletine. I don't even want to go. If I go, I might trigger something for the FBI come after me for sexual stuff on the internet with children. No, Scarlet Teen. I don't want to go. Don't go there. Don't go there. But but they're going to teach our children to go there. Apparently, subjects children to supplemental material such as "It's Perfectly Normal," a graphic book that illustrates nude males and females in sexually explicit bedroom scenes. This is what was voted in. We had 40 Republicans. All of them voted against it. Thank God. At least we have 40. But unfortunately, at the time there were 76 Democrats. And there was one Republican. So one rhino and 76 Democrats voted for. That is, how an adult, some of these people have to be parents, right? You would think that I don't know. Out of the 76 and one Republican, so 77 people who voted for, you would think that they, messing with my hat, I want to just you would think that they have children. Wouldn't you think? It doesn't make any sense. Don't you think of one of them go, you know what? I'm not sure that I want my 8-year-old to know the difference between anal and vaginal sex. I'm not sure that I want my 7-year-old to know, where they go, like to be taught where they go to get an after morning, what's that called? After morning pill? Shoot, I don't even know. Thank God I don't know what it's called. The morning after pill. Like, why would I want to teach myself? What the hell is happening? This is in California. This is just one. We have another law that went forward. Is it AB 140? 1045 that reduces the punishment for pedophiles, sexual predators, sexual predators of children. The people I investigated in Anaheim Police Department as a detective. That what I've seen done to children, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, by grown men and some grown women. By the way, I had a couple cases involving women. But what they do to these children, how it affects them for the rest of their life, and you're saying California's saying it's okay. It's okay. And if you're within 10 years, so if you're 24 and you have sex with a 14-year-old, you know what? Don't worry about it. That's okay. That's what the state of California. That is just, again, 2 laws, right? So 2. It's the highest taxed state. I think there might be another one now. I think that kind of creeps it. It kind of goes to number 1, and I think now it's number 2. But it's one of the highest. Yet we have rolling blackouts in a state like California, whose economy has been and will not much longer has surpassed many countries on the earth. It is. How do you explain that? That we have rolling blackouts like a third world country. We have forests that do not get cleaned out. There's I forget what it's called, but there's a way of cleaning the floor of the forest and digging wide swaths in the forest that if they're to first protect it from a fire if you clean it out, and then if there is a fire, then it can stop at one of those areas where it's been cleared out in places where it could stop the forest fire from spreading. If one can, that there's other countries that do it and have almost zero forest fires. Right? I don't know what the countries are, but I know that there's countries that have told the USA, hey, if you would just do what we do, you wouldn't have the fires that you have every year, burning down homes, burning down entire communities. If you would just clear you just gotta clear the forest, and you just gotta you gotta clear these areas. Will allow a break for these forest fires. We've been doing it for you. Why don't you do this, California? They say no, because there's a tick or a squirrel or a lizard or a bird or something that we will disturb, and it will cause a problem with the bird. Who cares that it's burning down cities and buildings and killing people? Who cares? We got this little bird that we got to take care of that's going to cause a little problem. It's a little crazy. All right, so we here in New York are right behind you. No kidding. Right, again, you can use that. You can use New York, you can use Baltimore as examples. But I hear me living in California paying, whatever it is, $3 and something, I forget what it is, for gas, where other states and cities are paying $1 something. So we got high gas, high taxes, rolling blackouts, forest fires that are destroying, towns, literally towns, and killing people. We have humans crapping on the sidewalks to such an extent that they created an app so you can know where the poop is. And if you find the poop, you notify somebody that it's there, but then the city doesn't really come and clean it up. They have to have a special team of human feces cleaners. What other city has a team that is trained to clear human feces on a daily basis? Tell me a city that has that. What? We have that here in San Francisco and Los Angeles and Sacramento, where we have some of the most homeless, because what they do is they give the homeless free crap. Whose idea? It had to be Kamala Harris' idea. Kamala Harris had to come up with the idea. Hey, I know what will reduce homelessness. I got an idea. This is brilliant. I thought about this in the shower when I was with myself, is what I was going to say. Kamala, I'm playing Kamala. And I was thinking about this. What if this is a really good idea? This is a really good idea. Yes, it's a good idea. I'm talking right now. Okay, this is a really good idea. Let's give homeless free shit. We'll give them food. We'll give them alcohol. We'll give them paraphernalia for their narcotics, and in some cases, we will give them Narcan, and we'll give them some other drugs just to get them the edge, just to cut the edge a little bit. We'll give them that for free, and you know what? We'll also give them on occasion some free apartments and motels and hotels. We'll require some hotels to make some rooms available for the homeless. This is a great. I don't know why nobody else thought about this. We're going to give homeless free shit. So, if you're living in another state like Nevada, if you're living in Oregon or what, come down to California, because we're going to give you food. We're going to give you alcohol. We're going to give you paraphernalia. Oh, you can shit in the streets too. Piss wherever you want. It doesn't matter. You don't need to worry about that. That's okay. We have an app. We have an app for that. So just go ahead. And hey, I'm talking here. I'm talking. That was somebody's idea. Somebody in California had that idea, and not in just one area either. Los Angeles did it. San Francisco did it. And again, I'm sure Sacramento did it. I'm sure San Diego did it. Let's give them free stuff. And that will really cut down on homelessness. I think this is a beautiful idea. So you have that going on. Rolling blackouts, homelessness, crapping in the streets, an app for the crapping in the streets. You have the pedophile and sex predators, child sex predators. Don't worry. If you're 10 years, if you're 24 and they're 14, it's cool. Don't worry about it. You don't have to register as a sex offender. And it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to do that. Sex education in our schools, all the way down to kindergarten. That's cool too. That we need that, obviously. And we're releasing. I knew what the other one was. We're releasing 8,000. Well, we already have. We released 8,000 convicted criminals. They don't have to serve their time. They can just get out. Not a big deal. So let's go ahead and we'll release 8,000. 8,000. At least that is at one time. Right. There's other times, so we're probably into the 15,000. Let's just let them out. It's okay. They don't need, murderers, rapists. It's okay. It's okay. They learned their lesson. They were there for a couple days. So let's let out thousands of criminals. What we also want to do, we're not able to do this right now, is what we want to open that border. We just need to take it all down, remove ICE, remove the Border Patrol on the southern border of California, where the lines are hours long of the number of people trying to get into our country. Let's we'll just open that up. We don't need that border anymore. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? And you know what? When they come here illegally, but it's really not illegal. When they come here because they're immigrants and we need to take care of them, let's just make sure that they have free medical, free education. And you know what? We'll probably, if we have a stimulus, we'll make sure and give them stimulus money too. So let's do that. And then, you know what else we want to do? We want to also have sanctuary cities. We need to have, let's just make the state a sanctuary state. Forget the cities. Erase. Let's make the entire state a sanctuary state where Nevada's illegal aliens, Arizona's illegal aliens, Oregon's, Who else is on our border? Is Wyoming? I forget who's on our border. It doesn't really matter. Let's just have them come over to here because we have a sanctuary state. So we're going to have a sanctuary state, open borders. We have fires. We have sex education from kindergarten up. We have our sexual predators. They don't worry about that anymore, especially if you're within 10 years. That's okay. Have sex with a minor. Not a big deal. We're letting out prisoners. We're letting out our own, American and I'm sure illegal prisoners. We're letting out both. And then we're bringing in other countries' criminals. That's good. That's cool. And homelessness, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to give you a bunch of free stuff. So don't worry. Don't worry. We have plenty of money because we tax the workers and we tax the homeowners to such an extent that they can't live here any longer. They'll stay long enough. But you know what we're also thinking? We're also thinking that we're going to tax them when we move. That's real too. This is real. That they're going to tax Californians who move out. So that if you move out, you're going to move out of California tax. So that's how we're going to pay for the homeless people that are coming in from Arizona. We have Californians moving out. We have Elon Musk moving out. We have Joe Rogan moving out. We have Ben Shapiro moving out. Both $1 million companies, by the way. Not to mention Elon Musk, which is multi-million-dollar company moving. With them moving out, what we're doing, we might be too late for them, but anybody as soon as possible, we're going to tax them for moving. That's going to pay for all the homeless that are moving in and all the immigrants that are just going to now come across our open border. So tell me how you think it's a good idea to take Kamala Harris and all the ideas that Nancy's bringing with her, and Adam Schiff, who's busy trying to figure out the next Russian hoax that he can create. These guys are from California. I'm sorry. You have Devin Nunes, unfortunately, going, I need some help. I can't do this by myself. I'm living in California with a bunch of morons and crazy people. Devin Nunes is looking around like, I got to deal with Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, Adam Schiff. Devin's going, what the hell? He's like in Bakersfield, which really isn't California. It actually should. I wouldn't blame Bakersfield. Not Bakersfield. It's a Baker. No, not Bakersfield. Gosh darn it. What's the area over there? Where's he from? Not Bakersfield. Shoot. Fresno, the Fresno area. I'm so sorry, Fresno. I called you Bakersfield. I know. I'm sorry, Fresno people. You may be mad at me. So Fresno and maybe even Bakersfield wants to leave California and go somewhere else. Yes, he is Pelosi's nephew. Gavin Newsom is Pelosi's nephew, and it explains everything. It truly explains everything. And so, if I just on those things, if you don't think. If for 1 second you don't think that once Democrats get control of not only the presidency, but also the Senate, if you don't think that California, everything that's happening in California is going to come over. Now, there's going to be wars, right? There's no doubt that, some of the people in Texas and Florida and where else? Alabama, maybe. Where is I'm trying to think of some other Arkansas, Virginia. If you don't think they're going to say California ain't coming here, right? And they're going to get out them guns and they go, you ain't coming here. Whatever. Buffy, you're not coming over here and bringing your liberal bullshit. And we're going to have a war. There's no doubt. And I'm going to have to say, I'm sorry, California, but I'm going over to Florida. I'm fighting on Florida's side. And I'm not going to do it. But if you don't think that this is going to go horribly wrong, you're sadly mistaken. You are sadly mistaken. We had somebody talk. Who was it that brought up New York? Somebody brought up New York up here. And I want to make sure and give them credit. Uber, that too. What is it? Subcontractors. So California decided, well, we're going to charge subcon. So they're going to have to be employees now, and they got to be taxed differently and a whole bunch of other shenanigans. And so, but you know who they gave exemptions to? The media. Anybody who's a journalist or in the media, they have an exception here in California. So they don't have to go by the rules of the subcontractor. Can anything be more obvious? I'm so sorry. I can't see who. I wanted to make sure and give somebody credit for. Who is this in San Diego? Saw this. We have 2 young daughters here in San Diego. I am living. I have 4 I have 5 children. 4 of them are young. 3 of them are in elementary school. One's in junior high. One's a girl. 3 are boys. My oldest daughter is 26, so thank goodness she's out of it. But we need to change the school board, teachers unions. There's another one, right? You got the LA Teachers Union, one of the largest teachers unions in the country. They won't go back to work. They have it that they will not go back to work unless the police are defunded and dismantled. The teachers in Los Angeles Teachers Union, they refuse to go back to work unless the police are defunded or dismantled. Then we have that going for us too here. And LAPD was defunded. LA County Sheriff was defunded. Millions of dollars taken away. And so, again, you in other states who are undecided or voting Democrat, I'm just so sad that you are so moronically dumb. I don't know. I know it probably makes you now dig your heels in stronger when I say that, but I can't. I was nice for months. For months, I kind of bit my tongue and said, "Listen, you got to understand what's happening here. You got to understand that you have a guy who's cognitively diminished, who can not think for himself, running for president. He's going to be 80 during his 4 years, right? In 2 years, he's going to be 80 years old. Not to say that an 80-year-old couldn't do it, but this 80-year-old cannot do it. All right, you see him shuffling around, he's looking around. You lying dog-faced pony, whatever he said, pony soldier. I don't even know what he said. And he can't think. This is a guy that they have given you. Aren't you pissed at the Democratic National Committee that they gave you Joe Biden? Wouldn't you? I mean, that would be the first thing that would cause me to leave the Democratic Party, is that you have half of the country of Democrats. Half of the country is Democrats. And the one guy you pick has dementia. And he's never been correct on anything. And he's never done anything positive in politics. Even the Democrats say that. Nobody likes him. You don't see any excitement for him. And you that may be watching this Democrat, you are voting for that. You are supporting that. Instead, you should be pissed. Like, what? Out of half of the population of the United States of America, this is the guy. This is the guy that you want us to vote for president of the United States. And then you give us Kamala Harris from California. She doesn't have an excuse. At least he has dementia. She's just a horrible person. Again, I know people. I'm from California. I testify in federal courts. I've been in San Francisco courts. I've worked with attorneys in San Francisco in the federal court building, and I have heard and know secondhand knowledge. So I think one of them might be actually firsthand knowledge. What kind of person Kamala Harris is? You're making a huge mistake. And I just, again, on that alone, I would be so angry if I was a Democrat that this is what you gave me to vote on, that you think I'm stupid. I'm speaking as a Democrat. As a Democrat, I would be saying, you think that I am stupid, that I don't realize that this guy that you put in front of us for president, as a nominee for the presidency of the United States, this guy who has been caught plagiarizing so many times, not just once. You would think that most people that are smart enough, you get caught plagiarizing, you wouldn't do it again. He did it 2, 3, I think even 4 times, maybe more. Who knows how many times? Because you have to wait a minute, I've heard that before. Somebody has to I've heard that, right? So how many times is it? We don't know how many times. We know they plagiarized the pandemic response from the government. He simply repeats what Trump already did. That's his big, if I would have done it my way. No, your way was already done. What do you again, he's got dementia. Right? A guy who's voted in the wrong direction. He's voted for stuff he should have voted against. He's voted against things he should have voted for. Everybody knows this is not a secret. But as a Democrat, I would be I would say, no, I am not voting Democrat because you've given me an asshole. A dementia, sickly old man who was dumb when he didn't have dementia. For 47 years, he's done nothing to prove black communities. He's done nothing for the United States of America. He's done nothing. Literally. That is really hard to say that that you couldn't get something right your entire career. right? That it is really one of the craziest things that I've ever seen and witnessed. That I sit here and I look at California. Again, this is all coming back to what my experience is. San Francisco, I loved my first date with my first wife. that sounds really bad to say. I sound like Donald Trump. So the first date, my first wife, the first date, right? We met on a cruise ship and we hung out on a cruise ship. and then she goes home and then we talk on the phone for 4 or 5 days. And I say, hey, I'm going to come pick you. No, I can't remember how it worked out. Anyway, she was already coming down. I lived on the beach. I lived in Huntington Beach on Pacific Coast Highway overlooking the ocean. It was awesome. So she was coming to my place. Because she lived in Palm Springs, and it was hot. I'm not going to Palm Springs. So she's coming down the beach. She gets to the beach. I said, I think I told her to pack, make sure and have a bathing suit and make sure I have something else. And so I get in my car without telling her. We get in my truck, go to LAX, and she's going, where are we going? We're going to the airport. And we get on a plane, and we fly to San Francisco and go on a date. We end up staying there a couple. No, we were only supposed to fly there and back. I had to change the ticket. We stayed there for a couple nights. But that's how much I thought of that being the most romantic, the best, and it was. We had a great time. We ended up getting married. Obviously, that was like the very first. It was amazing. San Francisco was amazing. The Ghirardelli chocolate, right? The sourdough bread, my favorite. The seafood, Alcatraz, the Golden Gate Bridge, the really high build, the Trans building there, whatever that's called, and the windy road, just so much. The food and the music and just the sushi. Oh my God, the world's best sushi I've had there in San Francisco. Completely destroyed. I know that was a very long story to get to this point. It's completely destroyed now. It smells like urine. There's shit in the streets. You have to have an app, right? You have an app to report human feces on the ground. I said it was hard to say feces, so I had to make a face. Feces on the ground. They've just completely destroyed it. More homeless, like probably quadruple the homeless of what I saw there. You would walk around and maybe see 1, 2 homeless every so often. Last time I was there, not the last time, but one of the times I was there, for fun. And now there's videos of just it's blocking stores, right? The grocery carts and the belongings and the urine and the feces is blocking the front door to businesses. Businesses are trying to put up barriers and things, and then the homeless take down the barriers, sleep there. Then they got to put the barriers back up, and they got to clean the feces out. You see the store owners and the restaurant owners washing down the sidewalk of urine and human feces. That is not the San Francisco that I used to go to. Nancy Pelosi's district. You understand? Her nephew is the governor of California. Kamala Harris was a DA, U.S. attorney, right, in San Francisco. So this is not hyperbolic. I'm not making anything up. I am telling you that what has been happening in California is going to spread across the United States with some problems because people are not going to accept it in certain states because we live in a great country where we have the state separation of states. But this is not going to go well. Are you? I don't understand. If you've lived in California and moved out and taken your liberal ideas to Republican and conservative areas, you are a moron. You too are a moron. And for you to vote Democrat, so you've moved out of California. So say like Joe Rogan or whoever, they move out of California because it's just a hellhole. And they moved out because of tax reasons and a number of other reasons. They moved to Texas, which is where Joe Rogan moved to. Would he vote Democrat? I hope not. I won't be smart enough to say I moved out of California because I can't handle Democratic policies, liberal policies. I can't hang. Businesses can't hang. Homeowners can't hang. So why would you go to Texas and vote liberal, vote Democrat? Same with all the people moved out of San Francisco. The U-Hauls are more expensive leaving California and New York than they are going back in. Twice as much, I think, or even 3 times as much. To rent in California to move stuff out, it's 3 times as expensive than it is to rent one outside and take it into California. But you have people moving out of San Francisco, moving into Florida, that I'm afraid some of them are going to be voting liberal Democrat. They're both. I want to say Democrat, but it sounds funny when I say that. They're voting on a liberal agenda. And I'm just telling you, you have to look at California. If you're living in Arizona, if you're living in Nevada, if you're living in one of these other states, and you truly want the rest of the country to look like California, I've laid out these are all facts. I've not made anything up. It's all facts, what I'm telling you, what is going on in California. If this is what you want the rest of the country to look like, then Democrat. But I can't believe that you would do that. I can't believe you would want to destroy your state like California is being destroyed, virtually being destroyed. Big businesses, I only named a couple. I mean, you got Ben Shapiro and you got Joe Rogan, they're both multi-million-dollar companies that moved out of California. We no longer have that tax from those two businesses and their employees that they have and what the employees get taxed. All that is gone. You have Elon Musk moving his entire everything right out of California into Texas. Lost everything. And again, that's just three. There's others. There's a number of others that are moving out. And so, if that's what you want out of your state, if that's what you want, I mean, Nevada, come on, you got Las Vegas. You can't be voting Democrat. You can't. It would make no sense whatsoever. It would totally destroy Las Vegas. They would destroy Las Vegas. Without a doubt, that would be destroyed. If you cannot save San Francisco, and people have left their hearts in San Francisco, if you can destroy San Francisco, what used to be one of the, I wouldn't say necessarily, people say it was beautiful, but it was a great city, completely destroyed. Los Angeles, never been that great, but it's really bad now. You really don't. It smells of urine. I have not gone anywhere in the Los Angeles area and not smelled urine. Not one. And that, again, not hyperbolic. Anybody that lives in LA will tell you, unless if they live there, then you get used to it, right? Your olfactory system gets used to the odors that you live in. It's people coming out from out. When I go into Los Angeles, if I was blind, I could tell you when I was in Los Angeles. It would without a heartbeat, not with hearing, but with my schnoz, with my schnozola, I would be able to tell you, hey, we just entered, we just crossed the city boundaries, and we're in Los Angeles. That's how bad it is. It smells of urine and crap in Los Angeles, and especially near the federal courts, which I had spent. And this is before COVID-19. Before COVID-19, I would go to Los Angeles to go to testify in a court case, something like that, and it would make you kind of nauseous and want to kind of heave. Again, people coming in from other cities like Orange County come in, can smell it, and it's a lot stronger and a lot more disturbing than the people that live in it every day. Your olfactory system becomes numb. I'm sure you can still smell it, but it's your senses are lessened when you're living in it on a regular basis. Again, if you want California to spread across the United States, then yeah, go ahead and vote Democratic, because that's what you're going to get. And it is not pretty living here. It is expensive, and you get nothing. And the education has dropped down. Remember, I just told you, the teachers in Los Angeles, they will not go back to work unless you defund and dismantle the police department. They do not want police. Then they will not go back to work in LA's until there's no police in Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Oh, my gosh. That is the craziest thing. Los Angeles not having police, the robbery, the bank robbery capital of the world, with no police or defunded police. Are really okay? They don't even take reports. Really, I think they what they do is they give you a number, but they don't even take reports for property crimes anymore. You could have a car stolen, your house broken into. You can have stuff stolen off your property. There's no crime for it any longer in Los Angeles. I forgot that one too. They've taken away crimes. They've taken away petty crimes. People can go to the store as long as they steal less than $600. They won't be prosecuted. They won't even be pursued. So you can literally walk in to a store, grab a toaster oven, as long as it's under $600, and put it under your arm and walk out the door. Nobody's going to stop you, and nobody's going to prosecute you. That's living in life. That's great, right? That's really cool. You could come here, get free stuff if you're homeless, but you can also go into a store and get free crap and not be proud. You just pick what you want. I need that chair for the underpass for the freeway, for the 5 freeway. That chair would fit perfect with my decor that I have created underneath the underpass of the Los Angeles of the 405 freeway, or did I say the 5 freeway earlier? Okay. All right. So that's what you want. If that's what you want the rest of the country to look like California. This bud is for you. Enjoy it. It's sad. It's going to be very sad. So many propositions. Yes. That you gotta. Yes. Yep. Yes. Yes. I don't know. If we could turn California red, then that would be the happiest day of my life. I would stay. But if we don't, I hate leaving. But there really is a good chance I will leave the state if we don't turn it red, because it could only get worse. Right? It can't get better. They're passing these stupid laws every day. There's a new stupid law coming through every day. They're passing laws because we don't have to vote. They have a supermajority. Right? We don't have a vote here in California. They can raise taxes. They can talk about create a reduction of punishment for pedophiles. They can do all this stuff and then not put it up for vote. They just decide, well, this is what we're going to do today. We decided that there's 50 genders. There's 50 genders in California. Not two, not a man, not a woman. 50 genders in California. I can't keep up. Men or boys who become girls and men who become women can compete against women, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. A man can become a woman or identify as a woman and compete against women because he's identifying as a woman here in California. And I could go on. But I'm not, because I'm getting angry. This is really crazy. All right, so there's the moral. Really, you want to turn the rest of the United States into California, then vote Democrat, because that is what you will get. All right, my friends, I don't know how to put it any plainer than that this is what's going to happen. All right, my friends, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.